Hi, we'll be going through some PEP mental ability test questions and answers to 2021 for grade 6 students. Please follow me on all my socials at WLC Tutoring, both on YouTube and also on TikTok. And also please subscribe and like up this video so that other students who are doing PEP it can reach them. Thank you very much. So let's get started. The ability test PEP, it's divided up into two sections. One, quantitative reasoning. And quantitative reasoning, it targets understanding and application of basic mathematical concepts. And the second breakdown of the ability test is verbal reasoning. And with verbal reasoning, it focuses on analyzing text, such as words and phrases, to make determination and to make inferences and to draw conclusion. The PEP ability test, it is designed to assess the student's ability to reason and to process information. The test covers two broad areas: quantitative reasoning and verbal reasoning. So during this video, I'll be going through mainly verbal reasoning and the questions that you can possibly get for verbal reasoning in ability tests. Also, please note that the ability test for the grade 6 students, it's worth 30% of their marks. So it is very important that they try to maximize as much as possible on getting most of the marks. So it is very important if you want to go to the number one or second choosing schools that you have chosen, it is best that you get a grade within the 30s out of 40 because there's normally 40 questions in total on the ability test. So you have to be scoring in the 30s in order to have your first or second choice. And preferably if you're trying to get your first choice, then you will have to try to score in the late 30s, like 35 upwards. Okay? So as I said before, we'll be looking at verbal reasoning. The first question is, which does not belong to the group? Candle, flashlight, mirror, or sun? Notice the question says, which does not belong to the group? Not. So you have candle, you have flashlight, you have mirror, and you have sun. If you realize candle, flashlight, and sun, they're all sources of light. They give you light, whereas mirror is just used to reflect as well as to see images. So the one that does not belong would be mirror. So for question two, it says, which is the odd one out? A, baking a cake, B, boiling an egg, C, frying a sausage, or D, melting some butter? The answer would be D, melting some butter, because you have baking a cake, boiling an egg, frying a sausage. These are all activities that you would need to do within the kitchen if you're cooking. But like melting some butter is not necessarily cooking. So the odd one out would be melting some butter. So even though melting butter may be needed as a part of like baking the cake, so as to like grease the sides of the edges of the pan, it's not necessarily needed in boiling an egg and frying and other activities that you would need in cooking. So the odd one out, as we said before, would be D, melting some butter. Next question. Which of the following does not belong in this group? A, corn, B, kidney beans, C, lentils, D, peanut butter. The aim is to try to find what is similar among the options. What groups could they be placed in? Choose the option that is different from the others. So this is how you should reason when you get a question like this. So what group could we place all of these in? Notice first it asks, which does not belong. So you have corn, kidney beans, lentil, and peanut. If you notice, kidney bean, lentil, and peanut, they are legumes. Corn is not a legume. So right away, we can see the grouping, and this will allow us to see which one does not belong to the group. So the answer is A, corn. Next, you have a reading passage. It says, growing vegetables, tomatoes, and peppers can be planted year long once sufficient moisture is available. The best method for planting these vegetables is by transplanting seedlings that were planted in seed trays or boxes. Tomatoes need lots of sun, rich soil, rich, loose soil, and lots of water. The roots, not the leaves, must be watered. Tomato plants grow very tall, so they need to be tied to a pole or be staked. So, using this passage, we're going to answer the following question. Which statement gives the best conditions for growing tomatoes? Which statement give the best condition for growing tomatoes? The answer would be D. Tomatoes need lots of sun and water. And if you review the passage, then you'll definitely see that. Here it says tomato needs lots of sun, rich soil, and lots of water. And based on the options that we're given here, the most ideal answer would be D. A farmer uses a sprinkler system that sprays water high into the air to water his tomato. Which statement likely explains why the farmer should stop this practice? Again, based on the passage that we read, let us read this question. It says a farmer uses a sprinkler system that sprays water high into the air to water his tomatoes. Which statement likely explains why the farmer should stop this practice? And from all of the options that we have, the answer would be C. Only the roots must be watered. And we can see that based on the passage that we had read before. It says, the roots, not the leaves, must be watered. So if you notice, the roots, not the leaves, must be watered. So based on this question, if the farmer is using the sprinkler system and the sprinkler system sprays water into the air, then this would mostly be getting the leaves of the tomato plants and not necessarily the root. So that would not be ideal. So as it says, which statement likely explains why the farmer should stop this practice? And we see why. Because only the roots must be watered based on what was stated in the passage. Another question. All matter takes up space and has mass. All solids, liquid, and gases are matter. Therefore, all gases, and we have A, cannot be seen and has mass. B, has mass and takes up space. Can be seen and takes up space. Has no mass and takes up space. And the answer is B, has mass and takes up space. So the key thing to do, a tip, is to start by eliminating the statements that are way out. Look closely at the statement that remain and choose the best ones that fit the information given. So from the passage, it says all matter takes up space and mass. And then it states the different matter, and then it says therefore all gas. So it said cannot be seen and has mass. That's not, this A would be out of it. C, can be seen and takes up space. Possibly. D would also be out of it. It says has no mass and takes up space. And from what we read, it says it takes up space and has mass. So we would be left with B or C. But the most ideal answer would be B. Has mass, takes up space. And here it says takes up space, has mass. This question says, find the two statements below that together prove that Stephen attends science club. So the statements are: one, Stephen's school has chess and science club. Shauna has science club with Jake. Stephen's friend Jake attends chess and science club. Stephen and Jake are in the same clubs, and Stephen's sister Shauna attends chess club with Stephen. 1 and 2 is not enough to state whether or not Stephen attends science club. It says Stephen's school has chess and science club. This is just stating what clubs are at the school, but it doesn't say, it doesn't hint at Stephen attending this. 2, Shauna has science club with Jake. So these two has nothing to do with Stephen. It doesn't state whether or not he attends the club. The next one is Stephen friend Jake attends chess and science club. That's a possibility. Stephen and Jake are in the same club. That's another possibility. And then the last one is Stephen's sister Shauna attends chess club with Stephen. So the answer would be 3 and 4, especially number 4, because it says Stephen's sister Shauna attends chess club with Stephen. So it's showing that these two go together, right? And number 3, Stephen friend Jake's attend chess and science club. Sorry, I meant numbers 3 and 4 would be the answer, which is Stephen and Jake are in the same club. So this is stating that Jake and Stephen, they are in the same club. And then number 3 says Stephen friend Jake attends chess and science club.